Repeat or revenge? That is the theme for the rematch to take place this Saturday, September 2nd, from the AO Arena in Manchester, live on Sky Sports Box Office and around the world on ESPN+. We now begin our main event press conference to continue this legendary fight week. I would love to welcome back on stage from Sky Sports, Mr. Andy Scott, and also the CEO of Boxer, Mr. Ben Shalom, and the promoter of this event. Joining Andy and Ben is Mr. Calla Sauerland, the head of global boxing for Wasserman Boxing. Joining Calla on the side of Eubank Jr. is his new trainer. He goes simply by Bomac. Here is Brian McIntyre. And also joining Chris is Mr. Ronnie Davis. And now the individual looking for revenge this Saturday. He is the former British IBO and WBA champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chris Eubank Jr. And now, on the side looking to repeat. He was victorious on January 21st, and now he is looking to do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, joined by his trainer, Joe McNally from Liverpool. Here is the former British, Commonwealth, and WBO Super Welterweight Champion of the world. You know him as Beefy. Here is Liam Smith. Andy, Ben, Calla, the bell is rung. Let's get it going.
Big Mo, thanks very much. Those of you that were with us for the undercard press conference, thanks for staying with us. Those of you that are just joining us, welcome to Manchester. Now on Saturday night, everybody gets the chance to run it back. Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. will once again battle it out over 12 rounds or less at the AO Arena, Manchester. Same venue, same opponents, but yet still so many unanswered questions. Liam Smith told us exactly what he was going to do, and he did it. Chris Eubank Jr. finds himself in a situation that he's never been in before, with arguably more pressure than he's ever felt before in his professional career. Will it be round 5 and everybody picks up where we left off, or is this a fresh start? But the big question, will it be repeat, or will it be revenge? Go straight to the fighters, and I'll come to Chris Eubank Jr. first. Chris, welcome. I'm sure you've got plenty to say. Do you agree with that sentiment that this is the first time that you've had to come back from a stoppage defeat? This is the first time that you've been involved in a rematch. Is this the most pressure that you felt, or maybe not felt, but the most pressure that you've been under in your professional career?
I would agree with that statement. I've said that throughout the whole camp. It's the truth. It is a new pressure that I have never had to deal with before. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the focus it's given me. I'm enjoying the hardship that I'm having to go through mentally and physically to be able to execute the game plan on the night. It is a new pressure. It is a new risk I have now in front of me. I'm excited to go out there and see how I react when I have a man in front of me who has a win over me. Can I keep my emotions in check? Can I stick to what we've been practicing over the last 8 weeks? We're going to find out in a couple of days.
May I ask you about the changes that you've made in camp, notably the man on your left shoulder, Bomac, Brian McIntyre, but also changes in your structure. I think anybody that's ever filmed with you has always been told don't come before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. To hear that you were out at 8 a.m, to hear that you've got a nutritionist and numerous changes in camp, how have you adjusted to that? Presumably a little bit of a shock to the system?
Absolutely, but it's something that I relish. I relish a new challenge. I relish the chance to try different things. I was never a morning guy. I was always waking up in the afternoon, training in the afternoons and the evenings. Now I'm a morning guy. That's how Bomac and his team prepare, and I've been following their lead. Yes, I have a nutritionist now for the first time in my camp. I actually came in underweight for the last fight. We don't want to be doing that again. Just little things, small adjustments. You know, when you come off of a loss, you can't keep everything the same. You have to make changes. You have to see where you slipped up, and you have to try and you know, improve those areas where you were weakest. And that's what we've done.
I think everybody's been glued to the brilliant build-up shoulder programming that's been out on Sky Sports. The gloves are off, behind the ropes, both episodes, off limits, all available to consume on our YouTube channel. In those, on more than one occasion, you described it as a miracle, what happened in the first fight, and you still maintain that you are the better fighter.
Absolutely. What happened in the last fight was not supposed to happen. It was never, it was, you know, even to Liam, he may not admit it, but he was not expecting the fight to finish how it finished. Nobody was. You know, but again, it's not for me to say, you know, I have to prove that I am the better fighter. Me saying it, me believing it is not enough. And again, if he pulls it off again, if he does what he did in the first fight, in this fight, I can't argue with anybody. I can't argue with him. I can't argue with the boxing public. He will be the better fighter, and that'll be it. But as of right now, I know I'm the better fighter, and I'm going to go out there and prove it Saturday night.
Liam, I'll come straight to you. He said it was not supposed to happen, and you heard him just say it there, whether or not you would admit it or not, that he thinks it was a miracle.
Which one was the miracle? That's the question. Which one was the miracle, Chris? What shot was the miracle? What shot was the miracle?
The miracle was you walking away with a win over me.
What shot was the miracle? Just answer the question. We're all listening, we're all
talking. I'll answer whatever questions I feel like answering. You shouldn't have won the fight.
Answer whatever questions.
I'm going to rectify that in a few days' time.
Liam, answer what question suits you.
Let me ask you, Liam, you heard what Chris had to say there about the changes, but a quote that I picked out, that he said the biggest difference between you and your opponent is that you're still able to retain information, still learn, still listen, that you believe that regardless of who's telling him, be it Roy Jones or on this occasion, Brian McIntyre, that it doesn't stick.
Yeah, 100%, and you know, Brian and the rest of the team over there will be prepared for the backlash again, because he'll blame you once he loses this time round. He blames, he's just gone round the houses, everybody, nutrition, becoming light, you blame everyone else, but Chris, Eubank got it wrong. You made too many mistakes, you made the mistakes, Roy didn't make the mistakes. Bomac's not going to make the mistake this time, you make the mistakes. Just take it on the chin yourself. You lost the fight because you got nailed. And the miracle was just how easy it was. I said, touching the fight that you got going. I touched you, and you know, what did you say, Chris? You've never been hit, I hit you. You've never been dropped, I dropped you. And you've never done that chicken dance, I made you do that as well.
I've never said I've never been hurt.
You did, your words, chicken dance was your word.
You can't not be hurt in the sport of boxing. I've been doing this my whole life.
Chris, it got played over the episodes, mate. It was your voice, not mine. It got played over the episodes. You've never been down, you've never been hit.
I have never been down. But of course I've been
hurt.
You
haven't done it to you?
Of course I've been hurt. This is the boxing.
And you've never done a chicken dance, and you've done that last time.
I get hurt. But the fact of the matter is, it's actually all irrelevant. What was said, what was done, it's not going to change anything now.
You say this when you've got nothing to say, Chris, but we're here at a press conference.
I've got
a bunch of books and a bunch of media who are asking these questions.
I can talk all day, my friend. That's very well documented. But again, what was said, what was done previously, I'm not even focused on. I don't care. All I care about is the preparation I've had, which has been excellent, and the performance I'm going to have on Saturday night, which is going to be exquisite, supernatural. It's going to be a beautiful artistic display of savage boxing, and I cannot wait.
I said the exact same thing to you last time. You said all this shite, good luck, Chris. That's what you said last time. Same.
You'll be on the receiving end of a beautiful display of boxing.
You said this last time. Like we're on repeat again. I think we're here the same old stuff. You said all this last time, and then you make the excuses.
Are you enjoying the fact that you get to say to everybody, notably Chris?
I don't need to say it, said it for itself, you know what I mean? And the news done all the work, whoever done the promos, put out what I needed to say, you know, everything. The voiceovers, I've never done the chicken dance while Chris is doing the chicken dance. You know, I've never been dropped as he gets dropped. It was Chris's voiceover. It was Chris's, the words come from Chris's mouth, not mine. I was not saying he's never been hit or he's never been dropped. It was Chris's voiceover on the programme, so, you know, whoever put that together, great, because I don't need to say much about that spoke for itself.
But the fact that you get to tell everybody I told you so, how does that feel?
That was the great point of winning the way I won, because it was all week, it was like Chris couldn't be hurt, and I was like, never say never, and that's why I told you, I told everyone, don't ever think anybody can't be here because they've got a good chin. I still don't think he has got a good chin, but he got it looking at the floor, and he went. And again, the same happens to him again. If he makes the same mistakes, I'll punish him for them, and he knows that.
Before we go to the trainers, Chris, you've mentioned, you know, you like it when it gets to a dog fight, and I know Bomac is very much a great motivator in instilling the dog in his fighters. It was a boxing match at times in the first fight. Do you believe that there will be a point in this fight where we will get that chaos breakout in centre ring?
It's very likely. It's very likely that at some point the leather starts flying on both sides. But we have a game plan. We have a strategy. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to say how I'm going to approach the fight. But I'm comfortable. I'm confident in what we are going to do to combat Liam Smith.
Bomac, I'm going to come to you. Welcome. There's a lot of changes in the team, and you probably are the biggest one yourself, and Coach Red and Isao, Diguez, the team that you've got out there, straight off the back of one of the great wins in our era of Terence Crawford over Errol Spence, so congratulations for that and to the whole team. But specifically on this fight, what have you tried to instill in Chris Eubank Jr. in what is, relative speaking, a short amount of time?
Well, all the things that, you know, a trainer wants to bring to a fighter to get him to that next level, I will say Chris already got it in him. So it just takes me and my team to touch a few points, just to remind him of things that he already knows. It's real simple.
A lot of people have criticised Chris in the past and said he just doesn't listen. It doesn't matter who's training him, he doesn't listen. From your experience out there in Vegas, you had a good student there that was willing to listen?
I always tell everybody when they ask me that question is Chris is a sponge. He soaks it up, he go out there and execute. Again, he already knows what he needs to do. He just needs somebody in his corner, a good team around him, just reminding him of small, simple things.
You two are veterans, you know, throwaway question, you're not going to answer it, but if you could tell us one thing that you guys can do different from the first fight, what would it be?
Just correct our mistakes.
You're confident that you've got the winner sitting next to you there?
Hey, it's still there from the day one that we started talking. Let's correct our mistakes.
Just one along, Ronnie Davis. Ronnie, great to have you here. There's a lot of changes, but time that he's coming back from a defeat like this.
I'll just say the odd things to him. He knows what went on. We went wrong. He's got a really good team around him. We're pleased with him. I follow him on YouTube, his career, his fighters. So he's with the right people, and I'm pleased with that. Whatever he wants, whatever's best for him, I'm there. I've always been there for him from the day he was born, right through. Been with him right through his career. I'm proud that I'm still with him. I feel privileged. I've been in the corner with these boys, and that's it. That's all I can say, really. And he will be Smith. No disrespect. Liam, I think he's a great fighter, Liam Smith. And not to be underestimated one bit. That's all I've got to say, really.
Have you two had the conversation, Bomac, Chris, about the towel incident? It was very clear from the first press conference announcing the rematch that he wouldn't be inviting Roy Jones Jr. to bring a towel. Have you had that conversation with Bomac?
It wasn't a conversation. I just told him.
It was a one-way conversation.
I just told him, listen, keep those towels out of the corner. And Womack said, yeah, listen, if we've got to go out on our shield, we're going to go out on our shield. That's how we play it. We're not going to do any of that, looking for the easy way out. If it gets rough, if it gets hairy, we're there for the long haul. We're going to get through it. But yeah, I think if there's ever going to be a towel involved in this fight, it's definitely coming from the other corner.
So you're not bringing a towel?
No.
Womack, you bringing a towel?
We already told you no, so you ain't gotta ask me.
Well, you've already just lost every respect to God for yourself. Then Chris is telling you not to bring a towel. Your job's to beat the best for your fighter. So if he's telling you not to bring the towel, then he's already at the boss of you, right? Same.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the accent, but basically, you're not going to get under his skin.
What's going to be funny though, imagine throwing the towel in again after all this situation with the towel.
There's no towels. Even if the brow gets sweaty, the towels are not coming in the corner. Don't worry about it. You're going to have to work for this one. You're not getting the referee up.
When you're doing that thing, you can't get the towel come in. When that towel comes in.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, try not to step each other.
Man, I mean this, man. Man, Chris is a different fighter. He's a different fighter. I'm just seeing some shit from him in the last 4 weeks. And everybody talk all this negative shit about him, about how he's this and how he's that, and selfish and all this. This is one of the most intelligent, spongy fighters that I know. And he does what he's asked of. And so it's baffling me to sit here in front of this crowd. And Liam, no disrespect to you, young fella. He's a great fighter. But for people to talk trash about Chris because he got that loss and the way he lost, it doesn't do anything. The more y'all heckle and the more you talk shit, I don't do nothing but like to fire him with his ass. I promise you.
Well, I respect you too, by the way.
I mean, all the trash talking, that's good and it's fine for the TV. We got a couple nights to go, man. Then we're gonna find out. We're really gonna find out who Chris is.
You're trying to convince the British public who've seen Chris for how many years over a 4 or 5 week period, and you've just said something that everybody's made that you class Chris as an intelligent fighter. That's one thing Chris is not.
I'm definitely a lot more intelligent than you, my friend.
Chris,
let's not talk about
the results speak for themselves, so I'll be quiet, I'm talking to Brian in a minute. But you're trying to convince people that you're intelligent.
I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I know what I am. I know I'm definitely a lot more intelligent.
Whatever it may be, an engine. You've never been classed as intelligent in your whole career. What's been with you 5 weeks and starting to convince you're intelligent?
You have one form of fighting, I have many. So if you're going to talk about intelligence, there's no competition.
Can I bring in Joe McNally down the end there? Joe, you don't often have too much to say, and if you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but in terms of everybody at this top table, I wonder if you perhaps have had the easier of the jobs that you sit there with the victor on your shoulder. You did, as a team, your job first time round. Have you had to change anything this time round, or is it more of the same?
Yeah, Andy, it's, for me, with Liam, it's not changing. It's making him the best version of himself. And, we took a few things away from the first fight that we didn't expect. But look, for the public and the fight the way it played out, people can say what they want, but Chris danced to Liam's tune from the first fight. He had a little bit of success with a couple of uppercuts, but that was basically it, really. He never got out to second gear. He transitioned through the gears in round 4, put Chris where he wanted him, and finished the job. That's the top and bottom of it, really. Liam's very, very, very intelligent. Chris is a fantastic fighter, very good athlete. And, right now he's wounded. He's a wounded animal. He needs this, and he wants it because where does he go if he loses? But look, if Liam lost, he'd won a trilogy. But I know this man next to me would sit in a hotel in 30 minutes and say, if I lose to this fight, I'm jibbing, and that's the difference, you know. I just think that Chris was dangerous the first fight, and he's dangerous, just as dangerous, if not more, this one, and it's one that Liam's prepared for.
Yeah, always an animal, always a dangerous animal. Just quickly, you will be held back on repeat, but do you think the method of victory will be repeat? Do you think that Liam will stop Chris this time around again?
It doesn't matter to me, stoppage, you know, points victory, it's just a Liam Smith win all day, you know, and I'm truly confident more so they can say he's got, you know, Matt, Terence Crawford saying that they've teamed up, but what can really change in 4 weeks? You know, Rui walked away from the job 4 weeks out, and I don't think you can get a bond with a fighter in 4 weeks' time. If the biggest asset that they've changed for the camp is getting up at 8:30 in the morning instead of training, they're in for a long night, and you know, that's my opinion.
Let's bring in the two promoters. Ben, I'll come to you first. Here we are again. How do you reflect on that first fight and your thoughts and emotions coming into this second one?
Yeah, it was an incredible night. It's become a rivalry that's been the most talked about in British boxing this year, as you say. Thanks to Callahan's making the rematch back in February now. The story has rumbled on and on since then. So many question marks, so many things have been said. But what we have here is a fight for British boxing. We have two of the greatest athletes that we have in this sport, and they're going head to head, and there's so much on the line. And I want to thank Wasserman, I want to thank Sky Sports, because everyone's had a huge amount of commitment to this fight. I know Liam's had to work incredibly hard over the past few months to be fit. I know Chris Eubank Jr has been hell-bent on this fight since January, and here we are, and all the answers are going to be answered.
Calla, thank you for breaking away from what is a really busy week for you as well, because you've got a fight on Friday night that you're juggling as well. But how have you viewed this from Team Eubank's stance, and what has Chris been like to deal with what is a first in his career?
Well, I think first of all, you know, it's a blockbuster, a British blockbuster in a year where there aren't too many British blockbusters. It's the British fight of the year. Yes, that clause is always an insurance policy. In this case, it's an insurance policy against the punch that came from the gods. But at the end, let's all be happy. We've got a great fight on. It's a fantastic fight. We've heard about questions to Junior about where he is and where he's at and this, that and the other. What about the question to Liam? Like, he wasn't expecting that. Where's it going to continue from now? Is the fourth round going to lead to the fifth and the first round? I think it's, no, I'm saying that as a compliment. I think it's fantastic. The angles you can look at it, if you're for Eubank, if you're for Smith, it's fascinating. It's what boxing needs. It's great. Let's not bury any bones about it. This year hasn't been a good year for those sort of fights. So hey, I'm just delighted we got a fantastic fight Saturday night. My man's going to do the business, but good luck to everyone. Thank you very much.
And with that, will you predict?
And sorry. It's that rematch clause. You make me work for that, Ben. You made me work for that. I'm running around, people accusing me of trying to do other fights, this, that, and the other. This was the fight we wanted. This was the fight he wouldn't let me do. I've got text messages from him effing and blinding at me. He doesn't really eff and blind much, but he said to me, that's the fight I want in the locker room. There's no talk about other fights, all that, sorry, I'm not allowed to swear now, but all that rubbish going about other fights. This was the fight in the locker room. He told me, that's the fight, go and make it. Never been another fight. We signed to a fight back a few months ago. We were put through a few hoops and rings, and here we are. We had other options, yeah. We didn't go anywhere, no. We knuckled down. Credit to Ben for persevering with it. Credit for Liam for getting his back into gear. I'll show you which messages. I can show you a few messages. I can show you messages between me and Ben as well.
Callum, you tried to make the comment fight together or not?
Absolutely not. How am I going to make a fight with an unlicensed fighter? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In front of all these people. Absolutely not. No, not for a second. Not for a second, Liam. No. If Conor Ben would have been licensed, would we have looked at it? Of course, but the fight he wanted was the rematch. How am I supposed to get a fight on with someone who hasn't got a license?
That's what you said.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it. Other people might have said it. Ben, did I ever tell you that we were out? Ever?
You didn't.
Ever? Have you got loads of messages of me saying, when are we getting this fight on? We moved the date 4 times. 4 times. We're here now, exactly. It's all good. We've got a great fight Saturday night. Tune in and watch it.
Let me just ask this then. So what does that say about Chris Eubank Jr.'s character?
I think you'll see what, it's easy to talk it, but I saw him in Vegas recently, and what struck me was, you always see these Instagram pictures of him with superstars and partying in Vegas. I don't know when he actually films these and puts them out, but he was alone. He seemed not in a lonely place, but he was out in Vegas, and I said to him, he's 47 degrees. You all right in camp over here? He said, yeah, I like it. In and out the gyms there. He's actually, take away all the Instagram famousness, it's actually he's a proper fighter. He's a fighter that you see in all walks of boxing life. Different, different. Liam's from a fighting family as well, and but he's different. But he's so into that gym training, Vegas, the whole thing. It's so he took himself off. He had a camp the first time. I think was a mistake in Brighton, but at the same time, mistakes you only know afterwards. You learn from them. He's brought on Beaumont. It's the first time in a big fight he's going to have. Talk about people saying, he's brought in Beaumont. What is he going to do? 4 weeks notice? What are you going to do? At his stage of his career, what are you going to do? Find a trainer and teach him boxing again? Come back in 3 years' time? No. Beaumont's there to give him that professional setup of a team going into a big fight, which he's never had before in his career. He's never done that before. No, throughout his career, he's had Senior, he's had Roy, but those are people. You're a boxer, man. I don't need to tell you. There's a difference between a team and a person coming over. I'm not a trainer. I'm just saying he's always had those personas in the corner. Which one? He's one of my absolute favourites. He's a good friend. He's a great trainer. But there's a difference between a team and a trainer. Just my opinion. Opinions are, But ultimately, it's a win, isn't it? It's a win. As I said, we'll see Saturday night.
Yeah, let's give the final word to both fighters. This is your opportunity. Anything that you haven't said that you want to say it now. Chris, anything that you want to add?
The talking is done, the hard work is done. We're here, we're ready. We're on weight. I'm confident. I'm ready to go.
And Liam, the final word to you. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. I think 1 or 2 curse words slipped in there below the belt, but apologies for anybody that was offended. It is fight week, just to give it a little bit of context. Wait around, we're going to have a head-to-head here, and then I think fighters will be available for one-on-ones. Remember, Sky Sports box office on Saturday night. Away here tomorrow.
Easy, aren't you? Yeah, you're winding me up. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying one's a team. You know what I mean? I can't say Roy's a great trainer. I think he can be. He can be. I don't.
about the weight. You never? You've got to give me this time, man. First time you're going, you've got to give me this time. You've got to give me this time. After the game, just treat that piece up there. If you want your backs out, 15 minutes of fame.
Make sure you join us tomorrow night.